Hi, I'm Penny.
I am Nandini
And welcome to 1111 Talks. So, it's the second podcast.
This is our second episode, yes. And today we thought we will just talk about how we moved out of home and how our journey has been so far. And what our views on moving out of home early on.
As you guys would have read, here you go, she's a little visitor. So, as you guys came to know that both of us have lived overseas since, we did talk about it in the last podcast, right?
Yes.
And we lived overseas, we moved away from home very young, and just a bit about our journey so that it gets an insight into why we think we are appropriate people to actually talk about what our journeys have been and how we've been out of sequence in our life, given that we're transitioning into this. We transitioned from being adults to like women now, like from girls to women.
Teenage girls
to be
adults
and women and doing life or pretending to do life.
Pretending to do life good.
We've got it all covered, all bases covered.
It's definitely pretentious, but
I think it's like what I realized also, like when I moved, is like a lot of things you look from outside and say like you've got all figured out, everything is figured out, but you just get better at pretending.
Yes. It's not even pretending. I think from the inside we are not perfect, but from the outside, for people to look like when we look at each other also initially, when we didn't know about each other well, like you know how I thought about you, like, and I still think the same, like you're perfect and everything, but as I got to know, like I
you learn
know
more.
There are things that you struggle with and you have struggled with, and as you see me more, you know how there are different parts of life that has led to something else kind of thing.
And what I've actually big thing I've learned about you is like, now I've started to make sense about things, why you are a certain way, why you like, it starts to like, I form a picture.
Right.
Like, okay, this happened. Okay, now this has happened, and I can see why she's like that. I can understand her more. Like, this is I love to go deep in things.
I think she does, yes. But I get you. I think it's all the choices that we make in our lives that lead to another thing.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately there's always a choice, isn't it? Like we always make a choice, and that choice leads to where you are
another
at.
Choice.
And that ultimately is your life.
It's
all about choices.
Talking about choices, so let's just see, like the first choice we made to come overseas. How did we get to it?
How did we come here?
Let's talk about that. You start. What made you choose?
What made me choose to come out of home?
Out of home or live overseas?
Live overseas. I think for me it was very... it was a different experience, meaning I wanted to explore and travel the world and see what's outside of India. Also, I think I was too pampered at home, like I was given everything in front of me. So, and I was like, I can be independent, I can do it myself, I can do this kind of thing. So I wanted to explore that side of myself, like my personality and how I am, how I can do it. That was the main reason, actually, just to see the world, just to explore. But I was also thinking, I was not that mature at that point. I didn't have
I think it's a lot of personal development that coming overseas brings to us, and it's unconscious, right? It's not consciously we are changing.
Definitely. Traveling changes your mind. And also, when they say up to you're 25 years old, your brain is not fully developed.
Right.
So you're like the frontal part of the brain, like frontal brain, it's not fully developed. That is the brain that gives logic. That's the part of the brain, that provides logic to your decisions and everything. Which is why you see a lot of teenagers or before 25, people are like all rebellious, I can do this, and there's this weird confidence and all that. So that explains why, and I think I can relate to that because I had I just got on the flight without having any plan. Like probably that must be the same for you, like, or maybe different. Let me, tell us about it. How did you?
Look, when you said it's like that, us confidence in that age that is like coming from. I don't know where it was coming from. Like I had
exactly
I don't know. It's like I hope it's like I look back sometimes like what the heck was I thinking?
Right? Yes.
And I would never let like my sibling or my kid do the same thing. It's like, no, you're not doing that.
That's exactly what I think. I'm like, no way am I letting my child or my sister, someone's doing.
What the heck are you thinking? It's like, dude, this doesn't work like that. Life is not that easy.
And you have to be more prepared.
But
I just jumped
funny.
into it.
It's funny that you like said that because it kind of like
clicked,
connected. And when I was I think I finished my bachelor's. One thing good that Asian cultures in general, like Indian culture, comes with is like we're very big on education.
Yes,
And
that's right.
structure that comes with it. And all our family, like we both come from similar family backgrounds, that education was very important. So at least we had one structure of lifestyle that we were living back home, that we finished our bachelor's, and the next step was education. Still, like education never ends. Like even if today I say, okay, I'm doing this random degree, I'm going further, and my parents will be like, yes, go for it, go, keep studying. Like even if it's like
minimum is masters.
Minimum
like
is masters.
Without masters, you're not educated.
Not educated. It's like it's not.
You're an uneducated.
Uneducated person. So given that I was in that phase of figuring out what's the next step is, and I had a very sheltered life, so I had curfews, like 7 p.m. curfew, and was the elder daughter of the family. My dad was the only person working, so financially we were comfortable, but not exuberant, like not a luxurious life. Like we didn't eat out, we didn't go out on big fancy holidays, and I wanted all of that. I have been a very ambitious person right from the beginning. I want to live big, have best life. I want to break every rule out there. I want to do everything different and question everything, critical mind.
Oh, wow.
Like all that rebelliousness, overconfidence,
everything,
ambitious,
before 25,
ambitious and loud. Like I was like all the bad things combined in one like thing.
I wouldn't call it bad. I think it was just,
I think it was good. Like in hindsight, if I did not have that, I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't be where you are right now.
Yeah, the motivation wouldn't have been there.
Yes.
So it's sometimes I just look back and say it's good to have a little bit of rebelliousness with right attitude to work hard.
Yes.
It's harder when you have like all those things and you don't have substance to back it. Like you're so afraid of hard work. Hard work was not something I was afraid of, and it came from my dad, my mom. They've worked very hard on all their life. So anyway, that worked in my favor. I'm going on a tangent a bit. I'll come back. So I had all of that, and this kind of like I wanted to move out of home and do my own thing, figure out, and I want no answerable. Like I don't want to be restricted by timelines. Time, like I have to come back home.
I get that.
I didn't want to do that.
That's me as well. Yeah.
And it was hard work I wasn't afraid of, so I was just like, I need to move away. So I started looking at option. New Zealand was the cheapest option I could afford, my family could afford at the time, and I just took the leap.
Very good. Yes, I get that. What was I saying? That's me as well. Yeah, the restriction part.
Yeah.
And that's me.
Did you have restrictions growing up?
Well, I did. Like like any family, I wouldn't call it like a big restriction like how people would have, but I did have like a curfew, which I never listened to. But I always had to explain why I wouldn't listen, meaning why I wouldn't be at that time, be home at that time. Like, if I were supposed to be
what was the latest you were
6
up?
o'clock. Because 6 o'clock it gets dark. So after dark, you can't be out.
Mine was 7 p.m.
Yeah, and 7 p.m. is like darkest, right?
Did you go like night outs, like clubs and parties when you were there?
Well, not a lot, but I would go stay over at my friends. So
you were allowed to do that?
Yes, so that's the thing. Not a lot, but I was allowed.
To do that.
I could do here and there once in a while. I was able to, and I would stay out for like dance practice and just hanging out with friends up to 9 o'clock and all
My
that.
dad didn't even believe in any extracurricular activities. He's like, no sports? What? No, not for a girl. Like, what are you going to do with this?
Oh,
It's
wow.
like, hey, he was that. Like, he was like dancing was no go.
Never.
Everything.
I think I get that because you are the eldest in your family, isn't it? So I think you have more restrictions.
Did you?
I don't know why. I think because it just like I saw a reel also, and that reel she was talking about how there was a study on this 1,000 parents about who's your favorite child, and also like how the child's personality has developed over time, and the youngest is usually the most adventurous and creative and all of that because they are allowed, like they are the most favorite, or I think the parents probably like your trial child, the eldest.
Oh, fun.
Okay,
that wasn't fun, guys. It was not fun. So it was like, you were probably right.
The new parent, they don't know, they're like holding on to you. You're like more possessive.
More possessive,
And the youngest, they also learn. And they allow you to be
it's like nothing's going to happen. The first one didn't die, so the second one's going to be okay.
Probably we were too harsh on the first one. Let's allow the second one.
Let him do that. It's like it's really fine.
Maybe because of that, because my dad is also very conservative and he wouldn't allow certain kind of clothing, or you're not allowed to go stay over. Like good girls don't stay over in someone else's house. You can't stay out, have a good night out or something in your friend's house. How can you do that? You have your own home. Why would you want to go stay in someone else's house? Kind of thing. He wouldn't let me, but my my mom had to like, it's fine, it's just the friend, I know her kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that allowed, but I know what you mean by all the restrictions that was in place, but that's when I was like, maybe I'm the youngest. So they're like, okay. And when I cry, they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it light. They didn't like it when I cry.
Oh, really?
So, and I would cry a lot.
To get away.
No, I actually am. I used to. Even now,
do you still cry?
Even now, if I cry, my parents will get very affected.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't usually cry now. So, but then I know I'm saying that because there was this one point, there was a belly dance class that started in Mysore, and Mysore is a very small place. At that time as well, like 10 years ago, it was still more very conservative. People won't allow you. Like I'm from a middle class family. My parents are very conservative. They wouldn't allow you.
Yeah. And the whole notion of belly dancing is like,
very sensuous and all that.
Now we even
go
pole dancing sometimes.
Yes, we do.
Little did they know.
I know my parents didn't know that.
Like no restrictions, guys. No restrictions.
We got our way out. Yeah. But they allowed, because one night I told them I want, my parents were like, no, you cannot, kind of thing. And I started crying. I was like, I wanted to do this. I really wanted to do this and all that. And then they were like, okay. And we made a pact, like, okay, you do this, but you cannot perform on any stage.
Okay.
So you can learn, but you can't go show off around in the city.
Yeah, you can learn
it's our reputation kind of thing. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I did perform and they allowed me and all that.
Belly dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And they were very proud. On a New Year's Eve,
I
actually went on a stage and I performed. And so
it's also about like breaking some of the patterns like of thinking. Like doesn't mean like if today like belly dancing. It's a small example. It's actually a very small example to show how life is evolving, like how our perception of our parents have changed over the years, right? Before your dad wouldn't have it, and then he became proud of it, right? You broke that pattern of thinking. Yes. Yeah, then you become more accepting towards things like that.
Yeah, everything can be shown in a certain way, isn't it? And they were present when I danced, so they could see what the dance was, and it was not like how sensual it would be.
It's not like you're not dancing for like...
to seduce someone or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It was literally just an art form that I was dancing and that I was enjoying, and they were very proud. So yeah, it's like it's breaking patterns, I think.
Yeah, I would love to see you belly dancing.
It also came on the newspaper that
really?
My mom has a cutting of that.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yes, one time. Yes,
I'll show you.
Coming back to moving overseas, right? Yeah, tell me about how your experience was after you moved out. Like
after I moved away.
Now we know why you moved out.
Yeah, I was rebellious. Yeah. So I moved to a very small town in New Zealand called Napier. It was the cheapest option and cheapest uni and stuff. And I moved to a homestay, and there was an Indian family. And I was a vegetarian. I didn't drink vegetarian, not even eggs. Like I was like such a strict vegetarian when I moved, and I was very religious. Yeah, for some reason, I've been like a religious person throughout. Like I do believe in spirituality and religion and God, and I've always been like that.
So you're religious or spiritual, like you believe in
I believe in God. I believe in Hinduism.
Right.
That's the religion I follow, and I do believe like in Hinduism in the deep sense because it gives me peace.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like I feel peaceful when I follow that religion. I feel culturally connected. So anyway, that was like we'll talk about it in some other podcast.
That's good to know about you. Like you were vegetarian, you wouldn't drink.
And then I moved overseas, and in the Indian family they were vegetarians, but I found it a bit of a culture shock, like which is understandable. I was 19, right, and turning 20 that year. Culture shock, weather adjustments, because New Zealand's so opposite to India. I come from northern India, so Chandigarh, which is about 5 hours drive from New Delhi, and it's a beautiful town, very organized and stuff, but still different, very different. And Napier is such a small town. Landed in Auckland, and then like Auckland was, even back then it was so tiny. It was 2011, guys, like ages ago, right?
True, ages ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, yes. And they had to walk from international airport to domestic airport to catch a connecting flight to Napier, which was another 1 hour flight from there.
Right.
And a small plane. Air New Zealand was so tiny, like really tiny plane. I think it must have been like 25 seats on the plane at the back then. So I was so tiny. I was so scared. Is it going to fly? And I had 50 kgs of luggage with me because as an international student you were allowed that.
Of course, yeah.
And I had a pressure cooker in my suitcase that everybody was questioning me about. But anyway, there was a culture shock. I was a bit overwhelmed with the amount of changes, but at the same time I was excited also to find out what it is like. What's it like? The only the the thing that I found would be different coming as a student and a young girl, as moving countries now because I've just moved as well.
Yeah.
That I was more concerned and worried about how my ends are going to meet. So the pressure was there. I was worried about expenses. I didn't
Right.
enjoy how beautiful New Zealand was. Like when I landed. Eventually, I did, but first few years was very stressful in a way. I would need to find a part-time job, fund my studies, study as well at the same time. The study is very different. Teachers are very different, and
many
I did not
assignments.
have many Indians in my uni.
course, yeah,
Only handful of multicultural people. Like there was people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Some Fijians, Nepalese, and other South Asian people as well. Maybe one or two Indians here and there, but not many. So it was a bit of a culture shock. Finding part-time jobs, it was hectic.
It was hectic.
It was hectic.
But it was also exciting, isn't it?
It was
That you
exciting
were by
the same way,
yourself
yeah.
and
By myself, no restriction.
figuring
And
out life.
Funny enough, I never went out in the dark there either. So all that curfew was so well ingrained and trained in me. Like I was scared about going. I never went clubbing in Napier.
Right.
Clubbing was never a thing I did ever in in India at all. And then when I went to Napier, I never went out clubbing.
Did you enjoy when you went clubbing?
I went in Oakland. I didn't mind it. I did enjoy it. I love music. I love dancing. I love letting loose and stuff. And especially when I started drinking. That's another story when I moved overseas. Because Napier is a winery town. So I started drinking there.
Yeah.
And actually I started cooking with wine, and then eventually it kind of, I started having a drink here and there. But yeah, I did enjoy it when
Nice.
it was good.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
I was trying to think when I did.
But what is that? What's that one thing that you would tell probably for people who are moving out that they should expect?
I think you need to expect it's different. Now it's very different to what it was back then.
Yeah.
If I have to give an advice now, is like you can find now if you'll move, you won't find it that culturally opposite, because India has evolved over the years.
Yes.
Indian values have evolved. Indian infrastructure has evolved. So,
And Indian parents have evolved.
parents have evolved,
Yes.
right, and world's shrinking, because the social exposure
becoming
is
so
so
diverse
huge.
everywhere.
Diverse, and social exposure is so huge. What's going on in other
And
countries.
there's internet everywhere, so
Exactly.
you kind
I
of
did not have internet, so my
so many people
level of
around.
culture shock was higher
Yeah.
than anyone who's coming now would feel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think. So if the advice, come with open mind, keep your judgments back home. That's the only thing which I don't think Indians have shaken off yet. They're still very I think we approach things with a little bit of judgment, and having closed mind. Okay, it's my way or highway. Keep open mind, see all the options, pick what's best for you. Don't think. I think having an open mind would have been a better approach. I came with I think ignorance is blessed at that time, because I was a bit ignorant and I did not have that exposure to different culture. So everything was new, and I was absorbing what was suiting me.
Right.
And it worked in my favor. I made such good friends, such good mentors. My
Nice.
career, the mentors really helped me with my career, and I met good people. New Zealand is a very kind place to be.
Oh yeah, I think that was the best decision. For someone to move out.
Yeah.
And to move to a new place called New Zealand, where people are so kind and
So
they're just
kind,
accepting. They don't make you feel different or in any way. So you just kind of easily blend in, rather than in other countries. I don't know other countries. I wouldn't say it would be hard, because among the countries that I have moved to, all countries have been similar. It's been nice and kind and accepting.
Right.
Even though it's different culture. But Australia, one of those countries where they're accepting, but I think I'm also a different person now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to blend in
Yeah, it's
here.
much easier now. You know
Because
the
we
drill.
are adults also.
Yeah.
We have been out for so many years now. We know how to be, how to talk.
How was
and
it like for you?
after moving out?
Yeah.
I think it was similar to what you were explaining. It was very stressful because everything was new, culture shock, and when I got onto the plane, I was just like, I can do this. I got this covered, everything. I know everything kind of thing. And after landing, I was like, I don't know anything. How do I live life? How do I pay for something? What is the first thing to do? I didn't make a plan.
Yeah.
After moving out, this is what I need to do. I need to get a SIM card. I need to do that. I need to do this. I didn't have any of those plans. So
Did you know anyone in
I
Christchurch?
didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything.
How did uncle agree to that? And
That's the thing. Like they believed me because you know how confident I have always been, and I show that I am confident even though I'm not inside. I'm not like
I think
shitting my
that's
pants,
not-
but
yeah.
outside I just show like I can deal with this, and I can I got this and all that, and they trust me, which is
Yeah.
what I'm like. They allowed me to
Yeah.
go to New Zealand. They wouldn't allow me to go to Goa.
Exactly.
Goa is a place where you get spoiled or something.
Yeah.
But I still not gone to Goa.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but
Neither
they
have
allowed
I.
me
I've
to
left very sheltered. Like India, I haven't traveled at all.
Yeah, but they allowed me to New Zealand. Like, it is so surprising. But anyway, so after coming here, I didn't know anyone. And there was this one person that I knew who was in Auckland, but I was moving to Christchurch. And I saw this place in Christchurch out of nowhere from somewhere. There was an app on.
Oh yeah, I don't.
There was
even-
something where you look for houses.
What? How old were you?
2016 it was. I was
Okay.
21, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
21, 22. Yeah.
I think they Trade Me.
Trade Me. Yes,
Okay.
Trade Me. So,
So you had Trade. When I moved, there was no Trade Me.
oh really?
Yeah, Trade Me came way like 3 years later than that.
Oh.
It was like all books.
That was a hit, isn't
Oh
it?
my
Trade
god,
Me.
I'm so old.
So I got Trade Me, and you cannot log into Trade Me with any other phone number. Like you need
Yeah,
New Zealand number.
numbers,
And
yeah.
there was this one person from my English class, IELTS English class. I know this person who moved to Auckland. I got his contact details, everything to log into that. Found a place, and he transferred an advance amount, like about $200 or something.
Right.
And that's how I got the place. And I don't even know.
So
this.
your uni didn't give you a homestay? Like did they not?
I didn't choose for it. I don't know why. I can't remember why I didn't choose.
It was usually very expensive.
Probably it's very
it-
expensive.
Very expensive. And I did it because I, like again,
Very new
there's
and
no
don't-
option
no
of
other option.
finding overseas and stuff. So
Yeah.
whatever uni provides, I took it for first 1 month. And then I found my
I don't
place.
know. I can't remember why I didn't choose for that actually, because it would have been easier. Anyway, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I chose this, right? And it was not a very pleasant thing for the first few days. I was scared because everyone's speaking different language. Everyone
Did you have
looks different.
furniture and everything in your room?
Yeah, there was a bed.
Okay.
That was the only furniture that was there. There was a
Okay.
bed and mattress.
Did you have your own bathroom?
No.
No, shared.
Shared bathroom.
Did you struggle with that? Like I struggled with sharing bathrooms with
Initially,
strangers.
yes. Initially, yes. And later on, I met a few friends, and we moved to a different house.
With friends.
I had to share there also, but it was mostly it was a beautiful house, like one room in the bottom, like the downstairs, and there were 4 rooms on top.
Okay.
So there was one bathroom on top and one bathroom in the ground floor.
Right.
I lived in the ground floor, so,
Oh, okay, so you had your own bathroom.
people would not often come downstairs. But they would use, like the guests who come in would use
Yeah.
and all that, and people who from upstairs is occupied, they would come down and all that. But
Yeah.
it would mostly be me.
Yeah.
So I had that luxury there. But yeah.
Yeah.
And there were kind people also that I lived with, really very nice people,
Yeah.
luckily.
House sharing is again like house sharing is very common here.
House sharing is like
Yeah.
one of like you have to house share. How would you pay
Yeah,
your
pay
rent
your rent
otherwise?
and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what a little bit like with strangers. I was especially when you had like guys house sharing with you. Given that the background I came from, like very sheltered and very secured in all that environments, I was like a bit nervous about using the bathrooms, making sure double checking it's locked
It's
and
locked.
locked and
Also
stuff.
cleanliness and hygiene
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah,
when you think
guys
of it,
live
sharing
like
with the
pigs.
guys. Yes.
They do I did struggle quite a bit with that, but then eventually I found a place which was all girls and it was nice and comfortable. I think I struggled with living with boys,
Right.
like even house sharing with boys, because of that we have never like done flatting before and stuff.
Yeah,
but then
I've never-
eventually even that also worn off, got because I was working in construction and then always working around boys and then got used to it. That exposure to gender wasn't that common for me as well.
Me too. Yes, I agree. And
I went to
also,
girls' college actually in India.
now I don't see the difference between girl and a boy.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
now it's just like everyone, I'm the same with a
Exactly.
girl and a boy. It's the same. But back then I would see, oh, it's a guy, it's a girl. You know, I think it comes with you when you are younger.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had to make myself understand that they are
Yeah.
all people. Like, you know, it's okay kind of thing. So you don't have to be a certain way with a guy, a certain way with a girl.
Yeah.
Like-
Do you would you choose any other country if you had to again do it, or any other
maybe-
city in New Zealand?
Not really. I think I would be I was very happy in
Yeah?
Christchurch. I met some amazing people there. So the people were great. And even, yeah, like I don't think so. I don't even know how I would be in other countries. People would have exploited me, I think. Like, because I was so naive. So if you say something, I would believe that. Like anything, like, oh really? Okay, do you want money? Okay, take it. It is be like that. So.
It was very like there was like really funny instances as well, right? Like when I moved, I did not know cheeseburger has a beef patty.
Me too. I did not know that. Yes.
Did you order one?
No, I did not. I did not order that.
How did you find out that was like?
I was told it was nothing is vegetarian in McDonald's because I kept asking vegetarian, and I was like, no, you get in India, you get vegetarian burgers in India. Yeah, you get paneer and all of that in McDonald's.
Mac aloo tikki, man.
Mac aloo tikki or something.
That's
Yeah.
divine.
And I was like, you get vegetarian, but nothing's vegetarian.
I was like, because I thought cheeseburger, like, come on, I ordered it, and lucky enough, I opened it. It's like, that doesn't look like a
aloo tikki.
aloo tikki. So cheeseburger, that's the first time I've learned cheeseburger means like it's a beef patty burger. All it is like cheese, like the beef patty is given. Cheese is additional to it, so hence we are saying it cheeseburger. We don't call it a beef burger.
I know, they should specify that, isn't it? They don't say it, but luckily I was told that nothing is vegetarian in McD.
I struggled with like eating out in New Zealand initially, and did you had trouble with? You are still vegetarian,
I'm
right?
still a vegetarian. I think I still have to go through that. In between, I was plant-based. Like,
oh wow.
That was hard because you can't even eat ice cream and you can't even eat yogurt.
Like, oh my god! Why are you so brutal with your body?
But somehow it was very good because I was eating so much plants and so much thing. In the morning itself, I would have like pumpkin soup and all of that. I would make and juices, all these. Like the lifestyle was very good. For 3 months only I did. It got really hard, and I moved to India for a little bit, and that was even once you go to India,
India is easy.
Everything.
No?
It's hard because how do you change mindset of people who are around you? Like here, I had to deal only with my husband, and I can control him. Like no, we're doing this. Then I go to India, everything has ghee and butter and milk, and without all of this, you can't live a life in India. I
don't think you should live life without ghee and butter and cream and milk. Oh my god.
I think I've made peace with it now. Like it's okay. I have found a balance now.
Yeah.
But I think coming overseas, it was fun. What do you want to talk about next? What was interesting outside of the excitement? Maybe family. How did we build a family in New Zealand? Who became your family?
Who became my family? My friends, my colleagues became my family. Initial years, I did not have like that kind of setup. Like it wasn't the family atmosphere as such. I think it was just, how to explain it in a way that it actually makes sense. It was makeshift, like it was the closest to a family
thing to a family can get. Yes, I get you.
You'll have friends, you'll have like I did date someone, and it was closest to a family I could have gotten at the time. And the setup, but then I think most of it, like which I do still look back, relationships obviously it fell over, and obviously I'm not with those people anymore, but in terms of colleagues and mentors they became my friends. Like I have a friend who she was my boss, and she is still my best friend, and she's in Australia as well. So we've been friends over like 10 years now.
Right. Yeah.
And I met her in my first job in Auckland when I moved there. So a lot of those good people have become my friends and family. And did you miss family though? Like it wasn't out of the fact that I was missing family. I just made new friends and people. Like it wasn't replacement. It was just addition for me.
Additional, isn't it? I think it is the same. Like when you say that, because for me, I did miss my family, and I was very attached to my mother. And I used to speak to my mother all the time. Like every day, I would speak to her.
I'm also the same.
For an hour or something, and so I did miss my family. Meaning the festivities, the celebrations, the get-together, all of that I missed for so long. But I made really good friends. Like it was really a nice bunch of people that were around me. So it made me feel good, and they were also speaking similar language, like my language. And it's hard to find people who speak Kannada, isn't it?
I was going to ask you that. Like, did you struggle with the language thing? Like, no, but you can speak Hindi very well, so you.
There were Indians. They were all Indian group of friends, but I also had South Indian friends. So it was almost like home. It was nice. Yeah, but like you said, it was the closest thing to home.
Okay.
So it was not a replacement. I wouldn't call it. Oh, I didn't even think of my family. No, it was not that. I thought of my family. I did miss them, but it was like something that was there to cheer me up, kind of thing. Yeah.
experience overseas, like if I go back to New Zealand, it came with stages. Every year was very different for me. My first year was stressful in the way of finding work and find part-time job and doing study at the same time and struggling with assignments and doing that. And then eventually from that is getting into work visas. Once I got my residency, the whole dynamic of life changed.
Right.
The experiences changed. How I was looking at life was changing. Up till that, so it took about 4 years for me to get my residency in New Zealand. And up till then, everything was on temporary.
Yes,
thing.
I get you.
There was a switch that, okay, this is like, I have to make it work. I have to make it work. I did not have a plan B. Firstly, when I left home, I wanted to make it work, and I had to pay that loan back that my dad took for me, and I had like, because I did a deal, right? My dad was like, either you study or I'll get you married and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not going to study. Marriage was not even
and
my
I think
on my
the
books.
families, the parents are so happy to spend on your studies.
Yeah.
They don't mind. If you're studying, they're just like, okay, studies is the most important
thing. And moment I got my residency, that's when I started putting my roots in New Zealand. Like that's when I decided, okay, this is it. This is where I want to live. Not that I was ever planning to move out of that country. Like I was happy there. I was very like content and happy. My career was going well. I was growing professionally, personally. I had good set of friends, good setup, and I was dating as well. So life was good. But after that, that's after residency, and that's when I started like looking into buying property, like starting a business or doing something else outside. I brought my parents to visit, so my mom came to visit.
So you started building
that life that I wanted,
yeah.
and it came in phases. So the struggles were different every few years.
From what I hear right now is like you have actually lived life in New Zealand more than in India, isn't it?
Yeah, but yours, it was very different, right? Like you were like, it was a temporary stop and you went home and then you came back again.
For me it was never like, like, you know how you say permanent residency and then that was a goal, and I see that a lot of people here, I mean, even now, like I mean to say, even now when I see people moving overseas and that's their goal, and I'm very surprised. I'm not anymore, actually. I'm just thinking like, oh, that's very new kind of thing. Not anymore. Back then also, like, oh, they wanted to just leave and stay here. Okay, you're going to leave your parents and family and stay here. That's your goal and kind of thing. That just made me think like, oh, really, kind of thing. Because I didn't want to do that. And even now, people move out for various reasons. I think they want to live overseas.
So you never wanted to
live
in New Zealand forever?
No, my thing was always to travel.
Okay.
There was this uncle who would come home and he would say world tour when I was a very young kid also. Like, you know, what do you want to do? World tour. World tour. So that was always been there on my mind, that I have to just travel and see the places. Even now I'm like, but over the years I've learned that I don't want to just visit a place. I want to live there.
Right.
So that's why I've been living in a place. That's
something I've just connected to recently. We'll talk about this thing, like rather than traveling for holiday, I want to travel for culture and experience.
So it changes you as a person. It really, I have built so much confidence. I have gotten out of my insecurities so much, like, you know, I'm not as insecure I used to be before. So anyway, it was not just like, you know, it was not something that I wanted to move out of India and call something else home. It was not like that. I want to see every place in the world kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know if I can possibly do that in this lifetime, but
I think you can.
I want, that is what I wanted.
You can,
and but I know people who moved out with me, they were talking like how you are saying now, that they didn't have a plan B. They had to make it work, and they're like, not just for themselves but for their family and everything. And I think I was slightly more privileged in that, because my parents didn't have an expectation from me
that you'll
to take care of them, you know, or pay them back or pay the money. There was no such, even though I had a little bit of pressure in me that, you know,
you can't just like take it for granted.
Take it for granted, because we're not that rich family that, you know, it's not like that, because my dad did have to struggle and make money and all of that. So I did have a little pressure, but at the same time I was not like, you know, I don't want to live here forever. I just want to clear the loan and finish. Like, you know, I've seen this country, I'm happy.
And you're done.
And I'm done. But I had this thing that you cannot travel with Indian passport.
Right.
There is restriction to Indian passport. So for that you need a different passport.
So that's the reason you wanted to, for traveling was the reason that
traveling
you wanted.
was the reason. So it was never.
Look, that's so different for me. Like for me, this is a luxury. like what you're saying now, right? To have that mindset that very early on to, oh, I'm okay, I just want to travel, I'll travel, like, and I'm doing it for travel. I think, and it was not the pressure that my parents or anyone put on me. Like, I was under this pressure that I have to build these resources for myself that I can fund the lifestyle I want. My lifestyle was not financed, was never financed by my parents, and it is never going to be financed by my husband.
Yes.
That was the mindset. I don't know where it came from. Sometimes I look back and it's like, I was a very comfortable, like, I'm come from a comfortable family. I wouldn't have, like, it's not that I was struggling for food or clothing or anything like that. I had good education and stuff, but I wanted more. That thing of having more, and that has pushed me, as somewhat put sometimes extra pressure, which my husband also says, like, why do you want to do it yourself? Like, you don't need to, you're married, and like, there's things that you do for each other, and that's a separate scenario. But I had this feeling, I have to build it, I want to buy a house, I want to do it on my own accord, I want to do that, it's my thing, like, I want to have a business, I want to do this, I want to be here in my, this thing of I want to has kind of pushed me, or sometimes put extra pressure on me. So I wish I was like, I would have, like, I wouldn't even wish that. Actually, I'll take that back. I was happy with that pressure.
Yeah, because thinking back now, right, I don't think we should live like that, because I lived without an actual purpose. You know, like, I didn't have a goal. My goal was to travel the world, but what was I getting out of that? What was the reason why I wanted to travel the world? You know, like, thinking deeper. So it was like, I want to do it, why I want to do it, kind of thing, and how am I going to do it? So we don't have to think of how, because that is something I've learned, that you don't have to worry about how. You just keep working and it'll happen. But I'm thinking now, thinking back on it, I could be financially more responsible. I could have been. Like, I wasn't financially so responsible, meaning I didn't think, like, money would come, money would go. It was that was the thing. So I never planned having money in the account and planned for it. One example of how, you know, I don't know how to say, how careless or irresponsible I was, that I booked for my parents their tickets for my graduation. I was like, I'm doing all of this and my parents are so proud of me. If they are not there, what is the point graduating? So I booked the tickets for them, for both of them, right? And I was only doing part-time job. Imagine how much money I would have. I'm paying back this loan how much ever I can, but not much. Like, they would pay the loan also every month, but how much ever I can, I would, kind of thing. But when the graduation time came, I booked their tickets and they came over. I left my job that I was doing, because when they come here, if I'm not with them, what is the point? So this is just a level of responsibility that I had shown, that I'm sharing, right? That I left all my part-time jobs, the jobs that I had. I was jobless for like 2 months until my parents were here, because I had to be with them, right? Like, I had to show them around, and I took them around. I did all of that. Like, with part-time job, like, what luxury do I have? What is that? On what basis am I doing all of this kind of thing? So I could have been a lot more.
When did this change for you? Like, and like, I kind of see it's very opposite to what I see today in you.
Yes.
It's like, it's something I can't even imagine you taking lightly, because you're so responsible. When I've met you, you've been not that person.
Yes, no, I have not been that
and
person.
When did it change for you?
I think it changed. I should say it started, I don't know when actually. I'm thinking about it now. I've always been very careless about money. Even when I started earning full-time job, right, in Oman, I was earning. But I didn't spend on something, like, I didn't start investing. See, that is something I want to tell, like, you know, when you move out, you cannot take your finances lightly. You have to start investing and all that. But I didn't do all of that. Even when I started earning full-time, I was just splurging. I was clearing my loan. I was paying home. I was taking, like, presenting gifts to everybody for their birthdays. And for my birthday, I would celebrate. And, like, it was just that. Live life then and there, that's it. So it was not something I planned for, like, rainy days. Like, it was like, next 6 months I didn't have a job, what am I going to do? I don't know that time. But over the time, I have learned that, I think in Dubai when I was there, that's when I started thinking of, oh, I need to invest, I need to have a house, I need to have something.
Is it after you got married?
Returns. No, it was not after I got married, but I think I should say Shravan, like, my husband played a big role in it. Like, he was there. I think I got 2 different perspectives on life, like my own.
Shravan comes from very similar as my one, because he's the only son.
He's the only son. He's not the eldest, but he's the only son. Very responsible. And he is someone who has put me in my place with with
Oh my God,
expenses.
credits to Shravan.
Yeah, like, like I started.
We would love to hear
thinking-
that.
Yeah, I think that's when I started.
Yeah.
After I met him
Yeah.
for the first 6 months, but I've also changed him because he would think too much. Like,
I'm like that.
he would think about fuel price and everything. I mean, we should, I should. But not like so much. I don't think, like now, Shravan and I, we don't think of money for basics like fuel,
Yeah.
food, all that.
Not
we
for
just-
day to day, but long term.
Long
You're
term.
planning a life.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because, Nandini, it also comes from the mindset, right? Like I had the mindset, because I was thinking about this way early on, right? I had a mindset, I want roots. I want to live here. I want to build a life that my parents can come join, my siblings can come join. I had this mindset, I want to build a home for myself first.
Yeah.
I never like thought about traveling and like experiencing
life,
things.
yeah.
My motivation of moving overseas was to level up my lifestyle,
Right.
life and my lifestyle, and learn and grow
Yeah.
intellectually, professionally, and financially, obviously.
Yeah.
But whereas your one was you want to just explore.
Explore, yeah.
It was genuinely exploring. Like exploring, I loved. I
Yeah.
do enjoy like exploring new places, new like, but that's not my priority. Like how you have those lists
Yes.
and stuff. That wasn't on my list, and I think it comes from that. And when you probably met Shravan, that it like the priorities had the shift.
Yes, yeah. And I think I learned life like in a lot more ways even before Shravan, after Shravan. Like
Yeah.
there's so many
Things that
so many shifts that have
happened,
happened,
yeah.
and that has changed me as a person in a massive way.
We'll
So,
get into
Yeah.
deep on that, but for now,
I think
I think we
can
we
wind
can
up,
we can
yeah.
wind up. I think we're
we
going
have-
on and on
yes.
about like
and we can, isn't
we
it?
can.
Like,
I have so many more questions to go about it, but just to wrap it up, moving overseas, you would have probably gotten two different perspectives today.
Yes, that's true.
And it could be different for anyone. Like somebody gets married and moves overseas, somebody comes for education, somebody comes for work to bring their families here. We are consciously making these decisions in our life these days that actually to move away from home and doing things like I'm going to talk from a female perspective because I connect more to that. Whatever the motivation is, it's a big gamble we are taking to move away from home and stepping out of insecurity, and anything in any way we can build that space for you to come connect and or learn from our experience how we did it, how did we look at it, and how we are open to questions. Please reach out to us.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
lived in a few countries. I think we can answer questions on New Zealand and Australia.
yeah.
But,
or can even listen.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that is, that's about it. It was a good chat. It was a little bit about how we moved overseas and lived our life, but I think just be financially independent and responsible. I think.
And come with open mind.
Yeah.
Come with open mind. Don't think too much. Don't have your priorities figured out, and just be open minded.
Yeah.
I think, and be
And
financially
life
smart.
will be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, thank you for listening
watching.
and watching. Thank you. Anyway, see you
you.
guys.
Bye.
See you until next time.